Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Virtual Science Short. My name is Christian, and today we're going to be diving into the topic of states of matter. Now, we're actually going to be breaking this states of matter topic up into three separate videos, each video focusing on one of the three main states of matter that we have. So, if you're looking for any of the other states of matter, like liquids and gases, go ahead and click the link up above or check the links down in the description. Today, we're going to be focusing all about solids. So, let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we actually start talking about our states of matter, let's quickly review what matter is. Do you guys know what matter is? That's right. Matter is going to be anything that has a mass and takes up space. So pretty much everything around you is going to be made up of matter. But what's different about matter is matter can be in three different states, and these are going to be our states of matter. Now, depending on the state of matter we're looking at, that piece of matter may look different and have some different properties. Our three main states of matter are going to be solid, liquid, and gas. Now, there is a fourth state of matter that we sometimes talk about called plasma, and plasma is really cool. It's what happens when you take a gas and you make it extremely hot, so hot that it actually picks up an ionic charge. Some examples of plasma are going to be the sun that we can actually see up in the sky, or if you've ever been in a lightning storm, you might actually be able to see some plasma in the form of lightning. But today, we're just going to be focusing on our three main states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Now, the biggest difference between our different states of matter are going to be how the matter is actually made up. Now, in order to know that, you have to know what matter is actually made up of. Do you guys know what makes up matter? That's right, matter is going to be made up of these tiny little particles called atoms, and all of those atoms are going to be the building blocks of matter. No matter which state of matter you're in, matter is going to be made up of those atoms. But atoms are sometimes much too small for us to study, so what we usually do is wait for two or more atoms to kind of come together and form what's called a molecule. And these molecules, just a little bit bigger, much easier to study, and the molecules are going to help us determine what state of matter we're looking at. And the biggest difference is how those molecules are going to be organized or arranged, how the molecules sit next to each other in each of our different states of matter. So let's go ahead and focus on our first state of matter, solids. Now, when it comes to the molecules in a solid, those molecules are going to be arranged very, very tightly together, right? Those molecules are so tightly packed together that there's very little space for any of those molecules to move. They might vibrate a little bit, but they're not really going to move very far. And this is going to give our solids a definite shape, which means the shape is not going to change even if you move it from place to place. Right? One good example of that is going to be our table here. Even if I shift my table from place to place, the table is going to maintain the same shape. Same thing is true for any of these cups that I have here. Right? I can actually place these cups and move them around. You'll see those cups will actually remain the same shape. What's even cooler is because those molecules are so strong and so tightly packed together, if I wanted to stack any of my cups on top of each other, right, they're able to maintain their shape so well that they stack right on top of each other, and I can make some really interesting thing with my cup tower here. And this is all, again, because of those molecules. Because they're so tightly packed together, even if I move them, the shape is going to remain the same. Now, along with having a definite shape, our solids are also going to have what's called a definite volume. That might be a word we may have never heard before. Does anyone know what volume means? Yeah, so volume is going to be how much space a piece of matter is going to occupy. So if we look at our cup, right, we look at that, this cup is occupying about this much space, right? And even if we move this cup from place to place, the volume is going to remain the same. It's only if we start adding things to it do we actually change the volume. But again, those molecules are sitting in pretty much the same spot and they're not moving. So because those molecules don't really move around very much, the volume is going to remain constant. So solids are going to have a definite shape and also a definite volume. Now, another thing we can also talk about is how we actually change our states of matter. Let's say we wanted to go from a solid to a liquid or a liquid to a gas. How do we actually make that happen? Well, the easiest way to do that is to actually add energy. And that energy is usually going to come in the form of heat. Let's say you had a block of ice, for example. That ice is going to be a solid, so the molecules are going to be very tightly packed together. But if you add heat to it, well, what usually happens when you take ice out of the freezer and you start to make it warmer? It begins to melts, right? And that melting is actually going to change it from a solid down into a liquid. And that's actually going to affect the way the molecules are going to be arranged. But we'll wait to our next video to talk about that one. All right, guys, that about wraps up our video on solids. Again, if you want to check out any of the other videos we have coming out about liquids or gases, make sure you click the link up above, check out our channel, and of course, subscribe for all sorts of amazing science content coming at you each and every week. My name is Christian. See you guys next time.